was killed. She didn't die. What happened to the body of Christ on Friday? When evangelist or sister Osinachi was killed. She didn't die. She was killed. I want to talk to only men this morning. And I know when I talk, they will say, but you talk about women. I will not. It is my microphone. I am right here right now. I will talk. You see, men stand up. I want to see, let me see your faces. Stand up, stand up. I want to speak all over the world. You people stand up, even if you're by your bed, stand up if you're a man and look at my eyes through the TV. Listen, your home is your government. Your home is your government. You are completely in charge of your home. You are not in charge of your home as Iron Men. You are in charge of your homes as God. When God wanted to show himself to the world, there is no other way he could come into the earth to rule and reign. It would be illegal because he's God and he's a spirit. And so he put you in place to govern for him. To govern for him. You are in your home to show your wife and your children who God is. Period. Anything short of that is you are walking out of purpose. Your purpose as a man, as a husband and a father, is to show your children and your wife who God is. That's all. So how you treat your family is your own understanding of who God is. When you are sleeping with other women and chatting up other girls and being unfaithful, you are saying that's how God is. But you're a liar. The Bible says, let God be true and all men be liars. When you beat your wife, you are saying God beats. And the Bible says God does no evil. There is no evil with God. And so in the government of God, he is in charge. And all he does for us is goodness. When we sing, we say your mercies are good. Your faithfulness is every day and all of that. Don't we sing that? So a man is supposed to be good every day. Supposed to be faithful every day. Supposed to be kind every day. And I know some of you are blessed with such men. When you have a good man, you are in heaven. Any of you looking at me today who has lifted up their hand and hit their wife, go and repent. Go and beg her for forgiveness on your knees, because you have lied against God. You have lied against God. I want to charge any man in Lagos, in Ibadan, Akure, Jalingo, Mina, all over the world where you are looking at me from, that you are supposed to represent God. God forbid that you lift up your hand and beat a woman that was not beaten for the past 20 years before she came to your house. She stopped being beaten when she was a baby. That is if they even beat her. There are many of you standing here, you have never beat your daughter. Never. But you're beating your wife. Do you know that she's somebody else's daughter? I want to charge you by the mercy of God. Those of you who are in this church, Pastor Ina was a good man. Pastor Ina empowered me. Look at me, men. This is what happens when you treat your wife right. Because this Pastor Ina legacy goes on. He's been dead now for 19 years. But his legacy continues. His work continues. Because he empowered me. He didn't tell me you're stupid. You are nothing. Shut up. Shut up. Keep quiet. No. My husband, I will make terrible mistakes. He will say, honey, you did well, but don't say that thing like that. Say it this way. Go and tell them. And when you speak, tell them Pastor Ina said. He empowered me. He allowed me to use his name to become. On behalf of your wives this morning, I beg you. I beg you, be kind to your wife. I heard that this man beat his wife. He would beat her and ask the children to join him to beat her. He beat her to a coma until she died. I beg you in the name of the God we serve, be God to your family. Be the representation of God. I plead with you. You may be seated. Thank you. Thank you. So this is what this vow means. For better or for worse. In sickness and in health. For richer or poorer. The people who wrote those vows were under the anointing of the Holy Spirit. They are beautiful vows. But let me explain where the better and for worse is. And I want you to hear it as from the mouth of the senior pastor of Family Worship Center. That the worse does not generate from inside the house. That worse did not mean that no matter what I do, no matter what I say in the house, you do it. No, that's not what it meant. It meant that the bad that will come from outside that we cannot control, no matter what it is, we will go through it. But the evil should not be generated from within. Therefore I say, any man beat you, leave. Leave. You say, Pastor, no, that's too radical. I've told you this story before. One day, Pastor Ina and I were married. When we first married, we were quarreling, and I was pregnant with Blessing then. We were driving from beauty school. I did beauty school, cosmetology. We were fighting. We were arguing in the car. We were so broke, so everything was tight. We used to quarrel over 25 kobo. It was not funny. One of the days on the highway, we borrowed somebody's beetle. And we were driving past. So he now got angry and hit the car. Boy, it went full. It almost hit the median. I kept quiet. Because here was I very pregnant. You know what? I kept quiet. He talked. I didn't say a word again because I saw my life was going. When we went home, I cooked. We ate. We slept. The next morning, he went to work. When he came back, he didn't see me. I was gone. You know why your husband has been beaten and beaten and beaten? It's because you have been hiding it. That one time, I left the house. He looked for me for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And then he began to pray. And I went and stayed in his friend's apartment. He didn't think I could ever go there. I went and stayed with the girl for days. And you know what? I exposed him. And when Pastor found out, he cried that day because he didn't know that what was happening around him then had entered him. Because you grow up seeing what your father does or uncles and all, and you take it, you think that is the right thing. He didn't know he had that capacity. That was the first time. Another time, again, he jacked me up and pushed me. Of course, my mouth runs, you know. Is there a woman whose mouth doesn't run? That's how we were made. We don't have power, but we have a mouth. God gave you power and gave us a mouth. God is a faithful God. He does things in justice. He's a God of justice. He put mouth in my mouth and he put power in your body. So that all the advantage will not be on one side. Imagine if I have the mouth and I have the power. You'll be dead. So I must have said something that got him. He jacked me and put me on the wall. And then in the process, he scratched me. Accidentally. When the anger finished, you know, when your anger is up, your IQ goes down. When the anger finished and he saw the scratch, my husband went down and wept like a baby. And then started working on himself. So Pastor Ina did not become a good man overnight. He made 1, 2, 3 mistakes. And then he said, no, I can't be like this. And he changed. We still quarreled and argued. But it never came like that. A man beat you once, you keep it, he will beat you again. Once you have beaten a woman, you will beat her again. You must look for help. If you look for help...
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, wherever you're joining me from. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, my name is Mazi Ezoke, and I say to you, welcome to Njenje Media TV. Now, many of you, I must start by saying thank you very much for those of you who have come to me inbox, knowing if I've been well. I have been offline for a couple of days, and it is for a reason. I must say I am bereaved that I lost a brother. When I say that I'm bereaved that I lost a brother, I lost another brother. And this comes 15 months after I buried one of my brother. My heart, obviously, is heavy. Having said that, people, the reason why I want to discuss this Osinachi issue this evening is as a result of what many of you have requested that I do. We published a video from our partner, that is the BBC News Igbo. And that video, obviously, the interview of the mother of Osinachi, that video was in Igbo. And many of you have reached out to me. Some of you have requested, those of you who do not understand Igbo, that a translation of that video be made for people to fully understand the tragedy as was espoused by the mother and the sister in that video. Now, everyone, once more, I say, without further ado, I would want to bring that video in and let us have a look. So, I don't want to waste much of our time. Now, in this video, I would play segments where I would explain for the benefit of my international audience who are interested in this storyline, but obviously does not understand Igbo here. The only reason why I'm doing this as an exception is the avalanche of requests that I have gotten to do this. So in this, let me give us background here. We have a gospel singer by name Osinachi. She died recently, that was to be precise, Friday last week. I lost my brother on Thursday and she died on Friday. And when I heard about the news, I played her song multiple times. I played her song because if you are Igbo and you understand that song, it's deep, it can make you emotional, and in a time of mourning, it means a lot for someone who mourns. But again, the person in question is also no longer with us. What I would do is, if you Google her name now, I think Sahara Reporters did publish something that if you Google now, you will see a lot of stories. For instance, one of the stories from Sahara Reporters, if I read, the headline says, how dad pushed mom out of car, forced her to take bike home, son of the late gospel singer Osinachi. So obviously you can see series of abuse upon abuse that actually happened to this woman, and this is what the son or the child is reporting here. And the person you are looking at the screen now is the mom. And I will play segment by segment, and I will translate this in English and put some background information to that for you to understand what exactly is happened here. So let's go.
Ogo m gọtara ụdị nwoke bịara lụọ nwa m nwaanyị bụ Osinachi, onye Anambra, onye Ụkpọ Nnewi.
So to start with, she started the interview by saying that the husband to the late daughter hailed from Okpo, and Okpo is in Nnewi local government of Anambra State, southeast Nigeria. If you're not from Nigeria and you're interested in this, so that's where the man hailed from.
ụdị ihe hụrụ n'ebe nwoke ahụ nọ ama m ụdị ihe ahụ dị n'ụwa kemgbe ọ bịara na be m ya lụrụ Osinachi Nwachukwu. Kemgbe ọ bịara lụrụ ya, nwa m enweghị udo, mụ onwe m enweghị udo. O were ya dịka ohu.
Now, it is heartbreaking for a mother to make the following statement that since, in her words, my daughter was married, she has never been treated right. The husband took her as a slave. I repeat, the husband took her as a slave. And this is coming from a mother. The husband took that as a slave. I'm a father. I have a girl child. And, trying to imagine that someone would take your child to become a life partner and take that child as a slave, it's heartbreaking, honestly. And to see that the woman is here telling us that the husband that the child married treated her and took her as a slave.
When you o jiri ya wee kpọrọ, ọ na-eme ihe ọ na-amasịrị ya. Nke hụ na nwa m agara di before m ahụ ya anya, ọ nọrụrụ 8 years before nwere anya m na-abụ fụ ya.
Now, can you imagine? According to Mama, the daughter, after the marriage ceremony, never set her eyes on the daughter for 8 years, for the simple reason that the husband didn't want that to happen. Total separation from the family. 8 good years.
Ọ gara di. Mgbe ọ mụrụ nwa, di ya gwaghị m na ọ mụrụ nwa, ọ ndị ọzọ gwara m na ọ mụrụ nwa. Ndị yara m nọ n'ebe ahụ bụ ndị maara ya before ịlụwa di. Kọrọ m na nwa m mụrụ nwa.
Now imagine you're watching now and you have a sister. Your mom haven't seen her for 8 years. Even when she gave birth, your mom didn't know. Normally, in the Southeast or the Igbo community, childbirth is something special. When that happens, it is expected that the mother, that is the grandmother of the newborn, would have to come and do what it's called in the Igbo tradition omugo, meaning coming in to help the daughter take care of the newborn. Now, this woman never attended that particular and very important child bonding era, which is the omugo. The woman never attended. She was not even aware that the daughter gave birth. She only heard that the daughter gave birth to a child through third party.
Wee kpọwa nwa m jụwa ya, ọ sị na ọ bụ eziokwu na ya mụrụ nwa. Wee kpọwa di ya. Di ya sị na enyere ya nsogbu. Na ọ bụ otu ya si chọọ ka ha ga-eme.
That is also absurd because according to her now, she called the daughter. The daughter said, well, yes, I gave birth to a child. And she called the husband. The husband said, well, it's none of your business. I'll do as I wish. Without judging here, but I think if you're a woman and you're watching, we need to be very careful. I think there are signs here and there. By the time we finish the whole video, you find out there are signs here and there, signs that were ignored because the woman, herself, I do not know. Maybe it's because of the Christianity. People, by the time we finish and I do my own suggestion at the end, I think this is getting crazier. You couldn't not speak to your parents for 8 years and you don't, without blaming the disease, but to be honest with you, you couldn't even speak up for yourself. Something is definitely wrong somewhere.
Wee jụọ ya sị a otu isi chọọ ka ị ga-eme na nwa m bụrụ ọnwa ite naanị isi na ọwụ otu isi chọọ ka ị ga-eme na ọ jọrọ njọ ọ dịghị mma. Wee jụọ ya sị ya maka ọ sị mbọsị ọ na-abịa na be m na ya wụ pastọ. Wee nabata ya mana mgbe ọ bịaziri mewe omume ahụ were jụọ ya ajụjụ sị ya ọkwa gị sị m na ịwụ pastọ.
So when she was seeking for the daughters and the marriage, he told them that he is a pastor. But by the behaviors that he now started putting up, Mama now asked the in-law, I thought you said you were a pastor. The behaviors you're putting up now does not in any way, shape, or form reflect that which you profess, that you are a pastor. And so what? We said. Again, so many red flags. When Mama confronted her, I said, the way you came and told us you were a pastor, this is not what we're experiencing now. And he replied to Mama, well, I've married your daughter. There is nothing else you can do. Another red flag. Another red flag.
Ama belere ilere ya ọmụgwọ ọbụla o ji wee kwuchi okwu a wee gba nkịtị kpọwa nwa m nwaanyị bụ Osinachi sị na di gị m chọrọ ịbịalite ọmụgwọ. Nwa m nwaanyị wee sị m kedu ihe di ya kwuru. Sị ya na ọ sị na ya achọghị ịhụ m. Asị m biko mụ hapụwa wee gba nkịtị.
Now, according to Mama here, she said when that child was born and when she now found out that she now has a grandson, and she normally you are not the woman, the grandma is not the one to say, I want to come. Naturally, the husband is the one that seeks the mother-in-law in the Igbo tradition to say, your child is pregnant and she is expecting so date. They start, ahead of time, you start the planning. Mama, okay, if your son is going to give birth in October, Mama, is it possible for you to come maybe around end of September so that you'll be around, when the whole thing will happen, you will help in birthing the baby, you help in cooking and all the rest. But not even when the mother-in-law now proposes, I want to come and do the omugwo, I want to come and do the following, and the man says, hell no. According to her, she now goes back to the diseased and said, Osinachi, I want to come and do the omugwo. And that's, it's sorry, but it's unthinkable in the Igbo society. Disclaimer here, I'm an Igbo, and proudly so, but it is unthinkable in the society that a mother-in-law would go to the husband, the child's husband, and the child's husband declines. He goes to the daughter, and the daughter says, "What did my husband say?" Mama said, "Well, your husband said I shouldn't come." And the daughter says, "Mama, let it be as my husband has said."
Ndị mmadụ na-akọrọ m nwa m anaghị ekwe akọrọ m ihe ọ na-agabiga. Ndị mmadụ na-akọrọ m lekwe ihe nwa m na-agabiga. Mgbe ahụ ọ mụrụ nwa nke mbụ, amedekwa ya metụrụ ime nke ọzọ. Ofu onye anyị na ya bi na ya dị 74 n'Ike Road. Ụmụaka ibe ya wee kpọwa anyị. Sị anyị makwara ihe anyị ga-eme n'ebe Osinachi na anyị bịa eme ihe. Mgbe kpọwa Osinachi, mgbe m kpọrọ ya wee jụọ ya sị ya, "Ị ka gị di gị si anọ?" Ọ sị, "Mama, na ọ ihe m ga-ajụ ya."
Now again, she said where they lived, and that as this continued, the daughter never for once told her that she had this problem. The daughter never for once confided in her, but she got to know through a third party. And when she confronted the daughter, again, your guess is as good as mine. One key thing any young person watching me, any man, woman, one key takeaway here is speak up. Speak up. If the woman, I believe, spoke up at the right time, if she took a walk, she will still be alive today, singing praises. I think somewhat, I might interject this here, my personal opinion. I think somewhat here, the more I watch this, the more I listen to Mama speak, I can see the element of religion, how religion took hold of her being and thinking, that she was not able to exercise some of her rights, God-given right, I must also add.
Na ha enweghị nsogbu dị. Teleo o wee tụta ime nke ọzọ, mụọ ya. Boji wee mụzie ya, wụrụ ọnụ ya kpọwa m, sị m bịa na agụ ga-egbu ya na nwa onye na-eletekwa ya.
Okay, imagine this. She got pregnant for the second time. It was at that point that she now began to call Mama and say, "Mama, please, I need your help. Come. I'm dying of hunger. No one is taking care of me. Hunger is really dealing with me. Please, Mama, come and help me." Can listen, people, this is heartbreaking. This so emotional.
Na ihe Peter na-eme ya na ọ karịrị akarị. Nwele anya n'elu anya n'ala. O wee kpọwa daadị anyị sị ya na Peter si ọwụ na ya alaghịla ndụ ya alaala ọnwụ.
Can you imagine the third red flag? And Peter said to her, "If you don't go alive, you will go in death." That is when you are dead. With the intention to probably do harmful things to her. And this is what she said to the mother. By the way, Peter here is the name, the husband's name. So whenever she makes reference to Peter, she's referring to to the husband. And Peter said, "If you don't go home alive, you will go home dead." What manner of a man does that? What manner of a man says such thing to the wife? I don't even know. Sorry, maybe I'm not a woman, but I don't know how a man would treat me this way. And let's say the first pregnancy was a mistake. I don't know the condition of my mind to get to a point of even getting pregnant again. But sadly, it did happen.
Ya bịa biko ya nyere m aka aga mara ka esi kpachite Osinachi nke ekwe na mmadụ alaghị na ndụ ọ laala ọnwụ mgbe anyị ji wee kwuchaa ya ada m nwaanyị wee kwee na ọ ga-aga wee jikere gawa Abuja ruo na Abuja were kpọrọ ya lọta nwa ya nọ na 3 months ya kpọrọ ya lọta na nke ahụ ọ mụrụ nọ 2 years anyị ha wee nọgide o a year and 3 months ya bido chọtawa ya.
Now, can you imagine? After the second child was born, when the second child was 3 months old, she eventually found the courage to leave and go and went and stayed with Mama for 1 year, 3 months, for 15 freaking months. 1 year, 3 months. She stayed outside her husband's house. It was only after 1 year, 3 months that the husband started looking for her. Think about it. 1 year, 3 months. What manner of bitterness would you harbor in your heart to make you not look for someone you called your wife for 1 year and 3 months? Your children, 2 children, bear in mind here, 2 children at this point, you didn't care how they were eating. You know, sometimes I get so angry and I say, for Christ's sake, Nigeria and the culture we have here in Nigeria gives maybe men too much right to abuse. 15 good months. Jesus, God, maybe that's why I'm not a woman, because I don't think I will ever walk back to that family again. But, well, I'm sorry, you know. Let me not be angry.
Ebe si na nwa m na ọ na-aha na ndụ ọla alụ ọma nlọkwa na Lagos ụnụ ama nlụ ụnụ lụrụ alụ ezuole Osinachi wee mee ihe ọnụ ya aga m ekwu eziokwu wee sị m mama na Chineke si ihe ekekọtara onye atọsala ya.
You see exactly where the problem lies. As I said before, this is religion. And the husband understood how to pull the plug. When the man eventually, after 15 months, came back to say, okay, you need to now come back to my house. And the mom said, no, because you have already said, if she doesn't go back home or she goes back, like the short man in Kaduna says, in body bag. If that happens, the mama argues. Then I want my daughter alive, let her stay here. And the daughter then turned out to say to Mama, the Bible says, for better, for worse. I don't think the Bible says for better or you get killed. I think this is, you know, these dogmas within the religious bodies is what actually kind of cages women. And I think people, this is freaking 21st century when, you know, women, listen, you know, I'm a Christian, but I would never encourage my daughter to even endure 10% of this rubbish. You got to come home. You come home. You know, this is honestly so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking to listen to. The mom was, can you imagine? The mom was even saying, my daughter, stay back. I would encourage you to marry another husband. The lady now says, no, 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 I won't marry another husband. It's against the scripture. Now, where is that scripture now that she's dead? I know before some of you would start saying, Maz, you're attacking Christians or you're making, but this, you know, this is the thing. We need to begin to, you know, open our minds. Yes, it's good for better, for worse. Well, but any man, no man is worth his salt to raise up his hand and touch a woman. Talk less. Ah, come on, come on.
ya bidokwa n'ebe ihe ahụ ọ na-eme ya. Amaghị m ebe ha bi n'Abuja. Ime nke mbụ agaghị m ọmụgwọ, nke ịbụ agaghị m ọmụgwọ. Ọ naghị achọ iji anya ahụ mụrụ ezinụlọ m. Anyị ọ dị ndị anyị anwụrụ anwụ, ọ maghị.
Now, after she went back, she just recalled now the first pregnancy, second pregnancy, third pregnancy. She'd never gone to do the duties of a mother to take care of the children when they are in that early stage. That is what we call in the Igbo culture omugwo. Mama never performed any of the omugwos. And she never bothered. The child didn't so much because the husband was preventing Ma from performing those duties. Honestly, at this point, I looked at this woman and I said, what a strong woman she is. It's the way she said it. If you don't understand what she said now, she said, my first son died. And this man never came for the burial, never cared. You know what that means? That's heartbreaking. It means in the Igbo culture, when there is bereavement in a family, the extended families and the in-laws, everybody gets involved. But in this case, Mama lost his first son, a blood brother to Osinachi. The husband that is married to Osinachi never bothered, never cared. He didn't go, he didn't call, he didn't do anything. Heart of stone is an understatement.
Mgbe m bidoro iri ahụ, Osinachi wee jekwuru mami na-eche yọwa ya. Si biko ya nyere ya aka. Anya dị ya mkpa ịkpọta mama ya ka ya leta mama ya na ahụ ọkụ na-enye ya nsogbu. Na di ya sị na ọma mbata n'ụlọ ya. Mami na-eche were gazie. Wee je yọwa Peter. Peter wee kweta. Mbịa.
Here she said, at some point when Mama was very, very ill, and the daughter became, somewhat soft and went to Mommy Nature. And when, in this case, I would assume that Mommy Nature is the wife of, is it Dunamis, Pastor Emecha, or whatever he's called, the pastor in Abuja. So, and I think that's where this man, Peter as well, pastors as well. So, and it took the intervention of the pastor's wife for them to begin to say, okay, Mama can now come for treatment. Could you, I mean?
Peter. Ihe nọrọ na be Peter otu ọnwa ya chụpụ m chụọ mụrụ nwa m nwoke. Anyị si ebe ahụ wee pụọ kwara ngwongwo anyị. Amarachi nwa m wee kpọwa ofu nwaanyị wee ejima ya si biko ọ mara otu oge si wee ga kpọta mama ya na Peter achụpụrụ anyị ya ga-akpọta ya. Ọ mara ebe ọ ga-edewe ya dewe ya. Nwaanyị Delta
Now, when Mama stayed in that house for 1 month, Peter threw her things away, sending him and the son away. This is a woman that was sick, that had gone for medical care. And he managed to send them away. Now, an outsider, person they didn't know, a friend to one of the children from Delta State, took them in. Think about it, just for a moment. Think about it. Your mom comes to your house. You yank your mom off. A stranger takes your mom in. And you're a man.
Oge anyị n'ụlọ ya nọzi ebe ahụ wee na-aga anata treatment nọzi ebe ahụ 2 months.
Now, she stayed with a stranger 2 months. With the biological, daughter, because of the way the husband treated her, she stayed 1 month before she was yanked out of that house. Now, people, if you're joining me for the first time, my name is Mazel Zoke and you're on Ginger Media TV. Please do me a favor. I hardly ask you for one. Like and share this stream. Please, like and share. The reason why we have to like and share is that YouTube is suppressing algorithm so that by you liking and sharing this video, and the reason why this is being done in English as a direct translation and explanation is that at the end of the day, we might save a life. We don't know. It might be someone close to us. But let others also understand that this video is live. Please like and share. Then I go back to the video. Mama just said she stayed 1 month in Abuja with her daughter and stayed with a stranger, a woman from Delta State, for 2 months.
Wee lọta kemgbe ahụ nwa m gara di na be Peter. Ọ bụrụ na owo taa ka esi alụ di, ọ kara m mma na nwa m alụghị. Ọlụlụ dị wuru m ụdị nke Peter. Nke kachasị m na ọ sị na nwa m ga-alahụ na ndụ laala ọnwụ, mana n'ụbọchị nke tata ọ kpara ọnwụ ka nwa m ọnwụ ka nwa m nwụzikwara.
At this point, it's getting so emotional personally for me. Now, she recounted how Peter said, if your daughter didn't, if she doesn't go home alive, she will go home in body bags. And eventually, according to her, the daughter came back home in body bag. That means the threat that the husband actually put forward, he eventually fulfilled that threat, which to me it's deeply, deeply heartbreaking. Mama said that he even regretted and said, rather than this type of marriage, it's better that my daughter never got married. That's heavy. That's heavy for her to think and say. But she has to say because, the thing she was seeing was beyond her.
Na January ya metụ ya nwobere ya akwụsị ya ya rute na February ya mewe ya metụkwa ya akwụsị ya a na-aga na-echeki ihe niile a na-eje lab eje ihe niile a na-eje onwe ihe a na-ahụ ihe ọbụla a gara nwe ihe a na-ahụ mana na ọ tata ka m ji ntị m na-anụ na Peter sị na nwa m bụ cancer.
Okay. Now, according to her, that they've gone places, the daughter started, the daughter was obviously sick. And every time when they go for lab tests, go to hospitals, doctors will say they found nothing. Now, and for the first time, the day the interview was conducted, which I believe was either Saturday or Sunday, that she had it for the first time, that the husband said that the daughter had cancer. Now, I don't believe that. I will tell you why. If someone had terminal illness and you're a human being, you have blood, not water, running in your vein, even if you were so wicked, even if you were so mean, wouldn't that terminal illness make you, knowing that that person has limited time to live, wouldn't that make you at least, even if you are Lucifer with, dressed in agbada, Wouldn't that have softened your mind to at least show some concern and love before the individual departs the mother, the planet Earth?
Mana Peter na onwe ya jikwa ọnụ ya na-ekwu si na onwe ya ahụrụ. Nwa mụrụ ọnụ ya na-ekwu na onwe ya ahụrụ. Mụ na nwa m kọrịrị akụkọ nwanne nya ahụ. N'onwe Wednesday, onye na-abụ kpara nkata. Anyị abụọ kpara nkata. Ọ na-asị m mama na ozuola. Na ọnwa obere isi na awa ya. Mana ya chọrọ ka ya laa ala. Ihe hụrụ karịrị m ka m na o Chineke ka ikpe dị n'aka. Onye na
You can imagine, I hope I understand this the way Mama said it. Last week, Wednesday, she spoke with her daughter and she said she had severe headache. But she wished that she goes. No cholola, meaning she wants to go. Go where? That's not literal translation. That word is like a blade that pierces the heart. When a loved one tells you, I can't anymore, allow me to leave, allow me to go. A young woman with an angelic voice, for that matter. And this is how her life was wasted.
N'agbanyeghị na nwa m na-ata ahụhụ na-agara ụwa niile na-akpata ego na-ebulata. Onwe ihe Peter na-arụ. Ka ha anaghị ewute m. Mana nwa m ga-eji obiọma na-aga ihe ndị a niile. Ọ ga-anọ n'ime ya tie ya ihe. Ọ ga-anọ n'ime ya kọọ ya ọnụ. Ọ ga-anọ n'ime ya mee ihe anaghị eme eme.
The mother says it here that in the midst of all these things, that the man in question hits the daughter, raises his hand upon the daughter, said some bad words to the daughter. And I say to my fellow men, please, please, in your moment of anger, do not speak. In your moment of anger, do not speak. You cannot be quarreling with your wife. And, it gets to a point of telling the story and they say, what did your husband do? You say, he said nothing. Nobody will kill you for saying nothing. But sometimes, as my late father says, that when rain falls, it can cover the footsteps or the footprints, but rain will never cover spoken words and spoken words. Because you see why I believe this thing happens. There are some spoken words that the husband, which Mama affirmed here by saying that the man said, it's either you go home alive or you go in body bag. Therefore, maybe those words were spoken in anger and those words have come to manifestation because words can do a lot.
Nwoke a ga-egbu oge o kwukwere ya ekwu. Ọ sị m na ya ekpebiela na ya ga-alụ na ha ga-echenji. Sị na ụdị mmadụ a ma nkwa m ọ ga-echenji kwa. Wee ruo n'ụbọchị ụnyaahụ wee bịa nweta Osinachi. Onye na-abụ kwuchara okwu na Wednesday, ọkwa Wednesday. M bịara kpọọ ya, ya aza m. O ji zachaa m. Ma sị ya ka ị mere, ọsị mama na ya dị mma. Sị na ị ga na-adị na-aga n'iru. Na-asị Chineke ekele dịrị gị onye mere ka nwa m a bụkwara onye nwere onwe ya. Ihe a ka m na-agwa Chineke. Wee kpọọ ya. Shia na Chineke anyị ga-enye ya ezigbo otuto n'ihe ọ lụrụ. Ọsị m na nsogbu adịghị. O wee sị m mama na onye nọọsụ chọrọ ileta ya. Emechaa ya akpaghachi m n'uhuruchi maka oge ehihie. Wee rute n'oge uhuruchi. Ọ kpọghị m kpọwa ya.
Now, when she spoke to the daughter on Wednesday and asked, daughter, how are you? and she said to her, Mama, I am getting all right. And she said, thank God. And I pray that you get out of this hospital, that you're going to be fine. But while that was happening, a nurse walked in and said to her, her attention is needed. And she said to the mom, there is a nurse here who needs my attention. I will call you back. But that call never came. That call back never happened. And she tried calling. The daughter never also answered. Even the next day, Mama tried calling her daughter, and the daughter never answered the phone. And she called the twin sister because Osinachi, according to Mama, is she has a twin sister, and the twin sister said they haven't spoken.
Ihe Peter mere nwa m aga m akọcha na Chineke kere eluigwe ke ụwa onye maara ihe o mere nwa m.
Now, she's, that all the things Peter did to my daughter and is not, these are not things I can say with my mouth, quoting Mama directly. And she concluded that everything is going to be left for God to judge. Oh, I think God is going to have a lot of freaking things to judge, honestly.
Peter jiri kpọọ m ebe 8 nke abalị mana nwa m nwụrụ n'ụtụtụ.
Now, can you imagine? The daughter died in the morning, and the husband called in the evening. There is a lot of red flag here. I'll give us as an example. Last week, I lost my own blood brother, my elder brother. The wife wasn't aware that the husband was dead. But at least effort was made that no one would call the wife without having a mistress, without having relations around her. Now, here is a man, knowing that man has lost a child, didn't care how to make, the well-being of the mother-in-law, because she could have collapsed and died as well, based on the shock. He didn't make any efforts to ensure that there are people around Mama to ensure that the moment the news got to her, that people obviously would dare to give her support in order not to have another calamity within the household.
Ndị mere ka mmata na nwa m nwụrụ. Ndị nwaanyị Igbo jere na-abụ na-adị na mma. Onye mere ka mmata na nwa m nwụrụ. Ọ sị ya shitere ya nri. Nwaanyị wee sichaa nri, wee buru nri na-aga. Wee rutezi ọwụ na Osinachi nọzi n'ebe ọ nọ. Wee wuziere ọnwụ. Nwoke a wee kpọọ m ebe 8 o'clock. Mana mbọsa anụrụ na Osinachi nwụrụ na-akpọ ya na-ekwe epik fon. Kpọkọta ya.
Okay, even now, look at this. Before the husband even called Mama, Mama was already aware that the daughter is dead, because according to her, a friend asked, the late Osinachi asked her friend to please help her cook something and bring to her for her in the hospital. And that meal was made. But on getting there, sadly, the lady was no longer the place she was before. That means she's now dead. I think that's how they got to break the news to Mama. Now, Mama, hearing that the daughter is now dead, started calling the son-in-law to find out if what she had is true or not. The man in question never bothered to pick the calls, but eventually returned the call late at night, maybe more than 12, 13 hours later.
Pick phone ya. Wee rute ebe 8 ahụ ọ bịa kpọọ were nọmba Osinachi kpọọ mpike ya wee sị ya ka eke unu mere ọsị m na ha dị mma sị ya ka ekwana maka ụmụaka ọsị m sị ya ka maka Osinachi ọsị m na Osinachi gawara ebe oge ehihie Osinachi gawara ebe ekwanụ.
When he eventually got him, asked him about the kids, how are you people doing? And she said, oh, he said they are doing all right. How about my daughter? He said my daughter went somewhere. Even at that point, he was still, hiding the truth from the mother. And he said now, Mama Nan confronted him, you've actually fulfilled your prophecy. You said if she doesn't go home alive, she will go home in body sack. Now, she's coming home in body bag.
Nwanne ya nwaanyị chọrọ ya gawa ọ ga-ahụ ya mgbe ọ na-arịa ọrịa o kweghị na ọ ga-abata n'ụlọ ọgwụ ọ chọpụrụ ya. Nwanne ya nwoke nọ n'Abuja nwanne ya nwoke ga-eleta ya ọ chụpụ ya.
Honestly, listen people, something is not adding up. Sorry, but look at what she said now. Osinachi's brother is in Abuja. When he comes to see the sister, when the sister was sick, even before then, no one is allowed in. The sister, the twin, comes to see the sister. The man rejects everyone. So, it's not only about, I know some of you making comments and saying maybe the mother-in-law, this, that, but it's not about the mother-in-law, because if it's about the mother-in-law, what about the brothers? What about the sisters? What about, close friends? It's just like something is definitely wrong with the individual in question. They all be begging, let's come and see our sister that is very sick. And he doesn't agree.
N'eziokwu ọ na-ewute m mana ọ na-ewutebiga m oke n'ihi na Chineke maara ihe niile. Ọ maara ihe niile ebe ọ ụdị mmadụ m ka ọ hapụ ụdị mmadụ a Peter Nwachukwu were bịakwute. Asị m Chineke n'ime ihe niile ya nara ekele. Ụmụaka ịnọ nwa nwaanyị mụrụ sisi a mụrụ ụmụaka ha amaghị mbe m.
Now the late daughter has 4 kids, and Mama is saying since the birth of these children, they do not know the grandmom's house. Now think about it. Your sister is married. Your sister has 4 kids. Yet none of your sister's kids knows your home. Know their ikunne, knows their maternal home. If you watch things fall apart, there is something that connects Ndibo to maternal home. When Okonkwo accidentally killed someone and he was banished from the land, he took refuge. Nekunnia, that means the maternal home. Maternal home is a refuge is a place of refuge for someone who is from or in the Igbo tradition. And he beats me and beats me real silly that because this man is from the core Igbo society as well, then he ought to know these things. But he denied these children the access to their maternal home that they don't even know the right place their mother comes from. That is indeed heartbreak.
akpọtabeghị ihe even one day karịkwa mgbe ha pere mpe m gara were fọfụ kpọta ha mama mgbe ha dị bụa ụmụaka asị ka ha bịa n'ụlọ m ọsị ha na mama na nwanyị jikọrọ m njikọrọ anyere ya ata m afọ mmụsa ha na-eji mee wedding.
Now that's mama part. This is now the sister. This is now the sister speaking. The sister will now recollect how she suffered the day they went to do the wedding. There is something wrong. Listen, people, if everything is pointing to one thing, then that thing there must be something wrong with that thing. Because it's not only about the mother-in-law. Here is the sister now telling her own version of the story as well.
Chineke maka musa na rape hom n'abalị ahụ ya wa funtara this man buru ihe anu aga no network imeke connect ebe nneje nwere ozi eji ga-emecha kamera onwe ya ha anda mmụọ bakpọrọ mkpọrọ mbe ha ebe ha nka nnozi till the following morning we gawaze wedding ha.
Now the sister is just narrating that even at the dates they when they had their wedding, she was almost raped because the journey was very tedious and tiring and she has to travel at night and she couldn't even get to the house and she had to sleep somewhere. Someone, a good Samaritan, helped her, took her in. Eventually, the next day she continued because apparently it was raining, there was no network and all the rest. And she took that risk. I mean, these are risks and these are things you do for your loved ones. But when there is no reciprocity here, it hurts. And you can see her trying to, eventually almost broke down while she was narrating this.
First issue. Office, I got training. My sister, mom, sim big and Peter to Ibu ya no moya. Makomota nwi Zimbia. Nanke bo. Pempe. What to Ibu ha?
Honestly, people, there was so much red flag that, you can't get angry. You can't get angry at a dead person, but there was so much red flag that you can only keep thinking, what was wrong? Look at the sister here saying that after the second issue, after the second child, there was a day the sister called, was crying, saying, my husband wants to kill me and he wants to kill me with my children. These were red flags. People, if somebody says it's going to kill you in your marriage, run, oh, run. Go away, walk away. Me, did I threaten you that I will kill you? Please walk away too. Any day, my children, please, any day you marry and somebody say you want to come home or I'll give you room, house today where you go stay. All these things, I'll kill you. Eventually, the woman is dead.
With my money, Osinachi, Osinachi, after I was here, Peter, Pastor Tony Noble with Pastor Neche. Now with Pastor Neche. Another person will be your blame that day. My father can.
Now look at it. The sister is basically affirming and reaffirming the same thing the mother said after 15 months staying in their house. Now, but what the mother didn't say is that Peter came home to take the lady Osinachi back with some pastors. And when, obviously, because you can't just walk into somebody's house and take the lady away. But when they started narrating the things that happened, and according to her, the pastors and those that came with Peter, those that he brought, they all blamed him. They all said stuff to him and blamed him. People would have thought that after speaking to him, that maybe common sense probably would have set in at that point in time.
Then after that one, my sister now getting here and Mama Gahamugo. Peter Crack of your Mugo. Monkey boy, and Mother Gahamugo. Peter Crack of your Mugo. Here be net, irritable we are no. Mother irritate here, not Peter. Come on, party. Monkey to, and Mother Gahamugo.
Again, just reaffirming what Mama said before. First issue, second issue, third issue, the mom never went for Mugo. That never happened. Red flag number 1, red flag number 2, red flag number 3.
Monkey no, Mother Gahamugo. Oh, my nose that 3 boys and a girl. I got a Mugo. Peter Kaobi deny my mother her rights.
Man, this is really heartbreaking. You know, because growing up, I cannot imagine where that. Honestly, I haven't seen it. The only time I have seen, you know, when childbirth occurs and Mugo was never attended is only when you have death in the family or when the mother is so sick. I recall that even my elder sister, when she gave birth, my mom died in the year 1995. My elder sister was pregnant then before my mom died. And in the year 1996, early that year, my mom died around 15th December. So early Q1 1996. And my sister gave birth to her first son or child. I was the one that did the Omogo because I'm a good cook. I don't need to blow my trumpet. I cook very well. My mom trained me very, very well. You know, with otazi and everything. And there is what they call, the only thing I didn't do, I was bathing the baby, put it, stretch my leg, put the baby, bath the baby, do the new thing. Honestly, I'm a woman with baby, I'm a woman in you know what I mean, all around that. So, but on a serious note, my sister, I know the agony she still up to today goes through the psychology that the mother didn't come at that point. And I always say to her, well, but you had me there. I mean, I did what I could. I took the, care of the child at that time. But she had also good friends and neighbors then in Omaya that some of them now came and also helped out. Okay? So, but here is a woman who gave birth 1, 2, 3, 4, and the mother never came. That is an aberration. That has, honestly, like I said, the only time I have seen that happen that I can recollect is when there is death or that the mother in question is so sick. Or maybe where people have like stepmothers and they're not in too good terms with the mother. I mean, most times that somebody doesn't go for that is normally from the woman herself, not even the husband, the woman. Oh no, okay, I'm not in good terms with my mom. I don't want my mom to come. No, but not in a situation where the lady in question wants her mom to come and nothing happens.
One day in a village, my mother was posting her phone. Not Peter. Peter pick her phone. Much if we are here, Peter's my mother. Crying at one. My mother said, I'm most natural. I said, most natural bonye. Get heaven and most natural. But now, was the mamma be able to Osinachi. Osinachi, she named where that. It's not my mother be able to Osinachi. Getting on our top. Peter actually, Jana phone, my mother. Made Maya, my mom, when them need want to die for.
In summary, says Peter doesn't want to, set his eye on us. That means her, the mother, the twin, the brother, and other siblings. Then the question leaves me scratching my head to ask is why? Not one person, not two, not three, not four, not five. Question is why? I wish anybody could tell me that.
Na Abuja, the same thing. Onye ekwu ije ya fo onye ọbụla si from ebe Osinachi, Osinachi. Anegiri ha anya negiri. I called my sister Osinachi. Osinachi. Gị na Peter na-ese okwu. Bet n'ogodo nke gị. Peter nọrọ nke ya. Ona na-ese okwu. Bet just kama m chaji oyi. My sister bụ onye udo. Osinachi bụ onye udo na ha tọsọ. Kama ihe a ga-ese gị na abụ, ọ sị gị jide. Ka nọrọ onwe ya.
I agree with you that Osinachi is a peaceful person. That's what the sister just said. For the fear of YouTube flagging the video, I would have played the song. But as a dedication to her, I would implore you, when this stream is finished, if you may, please play that song, Ekueme. If you may, play that song, Ekueme. That's the second sister, and here is the twin speaking. The twin said something that, honestly, I don't know. I think something must be wrong with the man in question. Then let me just put it that way. Something must be definitely 100% sure with the man.
N'ihe niile ọ na-afọ jirikwa ya na-eje Peter Nwachukwu mgbe ọ fụchara mụ na o si na ọ fụrụ anyị ọ narụ nọmba m na-akpọ o si na chekwara na Peter Nwachukwu ga-anụ ya.
And you see, when they first met, when he was trying to get the lady, he went through the sister. But the one here speaking, the twin, to get to Osinachi, and Osinachi said no. Actually, Osinachi, maybe the spirit somewhat knew. She rejected him from the onset. But for, normally the way you pestering, probably she eventually caved in and started accepting.
Osinachi na-eshi onwe kwero Peter Nwachukwu na-akpọ m na phone m biko m yọ ya my sister ka o kweti ya. Ọgbakwa m dị nsi na ọbụrụ m nọ ya nwa ka ọ dere. Mbụkwa nso Osinachi na m aghọtarakwa this man aghọtarakwa m ya ka Sofia aghọtarakwa m. Aghọtara m ya mana ọgụ nwa ka ọ dere. Anọtakwa ihe niile na-aga dịka gasị na ihe na-emechakwa aghasa. Anọtụkwa obere dị man bidokwa ọzọ. Ihe o meziri ihe meziri at last ka m amarọsi. Ihe ọzọ bụ na ya na Osinachi akpawago.
So eventually, after much back and forth, Osinachi eventually agreed to marry Peter. And the rest, they say, is history. You see, they didn't cut. You see that people learn your lesson. Somebody on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, marry. You never cut it. Please, cut, know the person. If a man during courtship maybe he was just joking, do like this, he was going to woes you. Run, no. If he's drunk and tells you, I'm going to kill you, run, no. Run, no. It is better you are alive and single than in the name of marriage, you go to your parents' house, body bag. Now me, they tell you, I would say the same thing to my daughters. Please, run.
The next thing, I have to go. Omenka. Or the close on up, na phone umbahan. Till the room bone with the hotcho. Obato subo, or feeling a godin. Or sunyego, or meheline, pia. Who gwisi mehenine. Abanku. Ozuba bachananku. Peter just got number me again. Even my sisters were naughty.
Now she got married before her sister, but at the end of the day, the moment Peter married the sister, immediately cut off connection and contact with everybody that helped in convincing the sister to get married to him.
I know about you white, I tell you white. I machana umechanum nange meria. Ruzenankia. The Equerosi. Oh,
did you hear that? Osinachi was her chief bridesmaid, and they both agreed as twins. When you finish, after your wedding, and I am your chief bridesmaid, when I have my wedding, you would do the same for me. For Christ's sake, twins, sisters, whoever breaks such connection with twins, that most times they even wear the same thing. They could even say the same clothes you wore, that's what I'm going to wear. I mean, and the husband somewhat made that not to happen, that she ever became a chief bridesmaid for the sister, blood sister.
That day, makana mam no die do to aga mecha mem no wa na nga mecha man no nakoko nwanne m boso na eme wedding Peter sika ma ọ ga-abụkwa m eje kpọ onye ọzọ onye ọzọ bụ ihe another person bụ ihe mere.
Did you hear that? Instead of you to be a chief bridesmaid to your own blood sister, your own twin, I would rather go and get someone else to do that. And eventually he went and got someone else. And I'm like, what kind of juju did she use on your sister actually? Because it appears she doesn't even kick. She accepts every nonsense from the man. Your own wedding. When you have the authority to actually say, listen, if you're not going to have it my way, that my sister, my twin sister, is going to be my chief bridesmaid, then go and wed yourself or go and wed your own mother. People, you're watching me now, there are things you need to, you have to you have to have band. You have to know, say, this is the minimum of things I can accept or things I cannot accept. You have to have a minimum. Every single thing, you just let it be just for the man, yet the same person didn't let you be.
The day I get my wedding on that Saturday, come soro ha, we jewe opo. And I'm at church, one small room, one kind of made the wedding.
You see, one much room church, they went in there and did the wedding. And she was crying. How can this be happening to my twin sister? This is happening to her. And she was crying. The husband was the one consoling her because she was also married.
My sister. After he no sekam aya nawa nata John we bidozia. Mpo my sister Peter omanku ya zaro ya. Ti rom man di menwu isisim mba ko Osinachi di imi nwu isisi ya ho adere ya. Okporo ya bia Redeemer Hospital di na opposite St. Prince eba abakpa na ike Enugu eba. Eba ko Osinachi bia. Okporo di akpo Osinachi ko hospital line ma. Eba nko na abia. We bia ba noru. Around 12 o'clock, Nima Banika Peter Jibia borrow my sister in the hospital bomb. Some man this man, how much we and over my sister Nima Bani. At the Mimem one. We have with them no toto. Dreamer, more one. Now one name okay. Elijah. I know about Wesoro. Run a bed praise so kachuku, not depends layout. See Peter pota. Ochori was na chikedi Peter kwere pota nkwa gate. Ni security never on sim madam mo Peter. Mo happy.
Listening to this lady, maybe if Peter married the type of this woman, because she's appeared more agile and a person who couldn't take so much nonsense. Sadly, that the sister took so much nonsense. And I would never, not even my own son, not even my own child, would I ever encourage to take too much nonsense from someone. Lord Michael, thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you. We appreciate that. So, listening to her again, she's now talking about how she went in and rescued the sister one time that she was in Enugu and even went in to confront the husband, that people had to gather, and even the gate men and the security men at the gate are saying, "Madam, please calm down," and all the rest. I mean, she's appeared more, she's somewhat more agile.
No man book one name yapota, come reason. Oji me ode ha. Ihe ka nọ na-eme awesị m nawa. My brother kpọrọ m nawa. Na rụzie n'ụlọ nchewe. Enwe ihe ọsọ m ga-eme were irote nwanne m na-ekpere na-ekpekwara ya ekpere. Chineke mekwa ebere. Osinachi derekwa. Ono this why nna akpọ Osinachi ama pik. Peter amakwu ya pikiri.
Look at it. I mean, your twin sister. This is not about the mother now. She's saying it that she calls the sister. The sister does not pick her calls because the husband does not allow her. Nah, man. I'm struggling not to call the man a monster. Sorry, but you know, they say you don't judge from one side, but from the mother, from the other sister, from this, from the children, everything is pointing to one direction. How about?
And
they know this, so all this, so listen, ladies, how can someone who abuses you, you still open your leg for that person to even get to the point of becoming pregnant again? Maybe my mind is going gaga now. My mind is just Jesus Christ.
Peter West, some year Peter Graham. Niageke one my sister. Niageke one my sister.
Now, can you imagine? The husband is saying, I will put enmity between you and your sister. Twins. A man says, I will put enmity between you and your sister. A husband to your sister says such thing to you.
Hi. Okwo this thing, chene egwuregwu. Mweje convention ije na Abuja. Rueba nọrụ. Na abịa si my sister na nna abịakwa. Osi m gwa di ya, mkpọ di ya. Ihe this man sịrị m anọ m na moto ndị Dunamis. Shata, anọ m na Zumoto. Ejiro m ego nothing. Nọrọ ebe ahụ. Na Zumoto wee kpọ this man si ya na nna abịa. Ihe Peter sịrị m, you're on your own. You are not coming to my house. Go and repent. You see an answer at the home.
Now, from what she said, that means she also attends Dunamis. And they were going for a convention in Abuja. She called, told the sister, I'm going to come. And the sister said, have you told my husband? And she called the husband, told the husband. The husband said, no, you on your own. Do not come to my house. Now, another thing I have to say here, people, I'll beg you. These are things we do in Africa, and we do it on the hot sauce. We have to stop it. If you're going to a place, ensure that you have what it takes for you to go and come back. Do not depend on anybody. I will never in life allow my daughter to head somewhere without having enough funds for her to return. In this case, what leads to this abuse appears that there is form of dependency on this man. But even when the man in question does not even work, because as you know, in part of this interview, you will hear when they will say the man doesn't work, and the lady in question, whenever she goes out for an outing and sings in a concert or in any ministration, they pay the money directly to the husband, and not even to the woman singing the Ekweme you and I are sing. You know, the song is so, you know, there are two songs that touches me so greatly. You know, there's this one that says, Ekweme, you are the living God, oh, there is no one like you. Another one is I just remembered it now. See, my head is just, maybe because I'm getting angry, you know, talking about this. There is another song Akaya, Akachine. I think I need F flat. Akabakaya, Akachine Kenemema. Those two songs, the song from this lady Osinachi and that same song. Two of these songs I so much love the two. I hope you like my. I don't want to sing in baritone, but let me. If not, I can sing in, but.
Ayi akpata oyi wuo m mbịa convention ahụ nọrọ ebe ahụ onwere onye mma ejighị m ego m ji eri nri ahụ ọkụ na-eme m ahụ ọkụ na-eme m now Peter the wicked.
Now, again, that is what I'm saying. In as much as I feel you, sister, but please, next time, I know you were sick, and that's what religion does to us. Please, even if it's crusade or anything, if you're sick, stay home. Don't get these things twisted. The head is kaput, and you put yourself into that mess by going into an event. You are sick, your sister's support is not there, the husband already told you ab initio, do not come, I'm not going to take care of you. And you went there, you fell sick.
My sister, if the no, no, so ben no way for my sister go on happy. Oh, for my
Things got so bad that in the same convention center, the sister was almost prevented from seeing her. In the same convention center, people let that sink in. To the point when they eventually met and she saw the sister, they hugged and both of them cried. The only reason that will make people to cry in that manner is deep, deep sense of separation that will make them to cry in that manner.
My sister waking she will put them
Look, she came for a convention in Abuja. She has a sister, a twin sister in Abuja. Yet the sister cannot even bring anything for her to eat. She doesn't know anybody in Abuja. But because the sister's husband prevents her from doing that.
Don Charles.
Now, the only person that could help her, bear in mind, this is a Christian event. This is a Christian convention. But somehow, Don Jazzy got into the mix, and the only one who is not a Pentecostal fire extinguisher, firebrand Christian was the one that now came to help. The ones, brothers and sisters that cannot put earring because it will send you straight to hellfire, and they can't put makeup. The ones that can pray when fire is catching a building, they are Yakataka Mama Sawakasi. The ones that are speaking in tongue and in tongues couldn't help. There was no love to be shown here. The parable of the Pharisee. The parable is a clear indication here how the woman was helped by someone she never expected it from.
After that one, Mechana, look another one, she go Munanga, be up here, Jackia. One minister, or arrange some sort of habiwa, who sort of happy, I bet you one cause away now, or some sort of habiwa, the sort of Hawabia. The sort of Hawabia that one, Namoto, return her drop on Habacha, Joseph Watana, Muabura Bam, Puta, Nkab, second convention on that, yeah. Burabam Puta, Chukorosi Bang.
So who is Don Charles? Sorry, I think she said Don Charles, not Don Charles, but Don Jazz, Don Charles, Don Jersey, whichever one. But one thing is that she had people that could have helped her and they didn't. A third party. That's the bottom line. That's the story here. A third party helped, not Don Jazz, Don Charles, whatever.
And come do to corner this way, the case ready. I just them do them come not send him natural media convention. Mbia noro. Manofia Chineke made that day. Chineke just chori imero nwe ya ha. Mbia kwa that day my sister say me acho ka egwu. Peter amaro maka na obu na Peter ma mankwe.
The sister is also a singer. So in that third convention, now the third convention that she came to Abuja, they said they planned that both of them will sing, but without the husband knowing, because if the husband knew that both of them will minister, and I said, what are you then ministering if you have such level of toxic mind and you are now, you come and clap for your wife to come and sing, but your mind is not clear. They had to hide the fact that they were going to sing from the husband, because if the husband knew that they were going to sing, he wouldn't allow both to do that.
That day, Mbanye, Shola Puta, onye nwe kweme, onye Osinachi gure kweme, Puta ha chene Puta si mama be strong here. Yes. You see, I'm not afraid. I didn't kwadobe that day. You see, no jada atum. Puta urakwa ani, mwe Puta, dika my sister na atujo. My sister Puta we ba akwa. So ni akwa nebe so na ina ba mechara we kwuru we egwu.
Now you see, sometimes you see these singers singing, you will think that the spirit has left heaven in full force in Air Force One and just hit them like tsunami. No. When I think I would go and watch the video she made reference to, the video is on YouTube, when she was singing with her. People there will be shouting, yeah, 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 thinking that she was in the spirit. But she was only crying from the pains the husband inflicted on her. That's what the sister said here. That they were crying, that they never believed that two of them, or eventually would be able to maneuver it, that both of them would stand in the same podium and sing to the Lord. Then the person must be a sadist, because he said that the husband said, never in this life will both of you stand in the same podium in dunamis to sing. Then you must be a sadist, because I mean, what is there? This is what your wife loves. She has an angelic voice. The sister has fantastic voice. Why can't both of them sing? You're just someone who is trying to be a sadist, saying both of you cannot sing together. Come on. I'm now in the spirit because I can sing. You see what she's saying? At some point, the sister sang to a point that she can no longer utter any word. And she picked from where she stopped and took it to the higher pitch. I think that video must be seen on YouTube, people. You see, she didn't sing because the Holy Spirit fell on her. She sang and she cried because of a way out. Someone who has been abused, suppressed, said certain things to her, that when she was singing, she was only reflecting on those, deep feelings and deep hurt. Jeez. People, I can't beg us enough. Please, if you're watching me now and you are in a toxic relationship, please. I'm not the relationship expert. I'm not the one on Instagram. What's her name? Blessing Okoro, who says is a relationship expert. Please, I'm not her. But I think for your life and for your sanity, for your sake, if you are in a toxic relationship that the man or the woman in question doesn't want to change, walk. I'm not a believer in the nonsense. So, until you die, your death do na lie. My leg must do me part. If you know walk, will part. It is better you are a single mother, a single father, and you stay and you are happy than being there and you are not happy. Walk, walk away. That's my no. What I'm saying, to my daughters as well. Any man treat you rubbish to point that it endangers your life, walk, tell me go come take my car, come carry you, come.
say swell on ewuse be niile ai bosi anka ji nwetazie mmadụ ozugbo nja nwa akwadotere m si ihe ọbụla ọ ga-eme ihe ọbụla ọ ga-eme m kwadotere wee jee soro jee mgbe aka na-ebido a na-ebido glory dum ọfụ nsi god na ga-ebu 100 seats afọ na-enye m nsogbu.
Anyway, people, I need to call it a day here. Before I leave us, these are my following words. Please, there are things I picked up from here. The sister had embarked on journeys where she was almost abused and abandoned because what lack of planning. The sister didn't plan well. You're going into somewhere you had no money, and because your mind has been conditioned is a Christian stuff, you have to go and praise God, blah, 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 and you don't have the money, you don't have the resources. Please stay back. Don't. That's my candid opinion. Because if one is comfortable enough that I come into Abuja, I've already known my sister's husband to be almost a madman. And I come in there, he's going to do his usual thing. I invite my sister and take her out, not necessarily depending on her. The more you depend on your abuser, the more you give him legitimacy to keep abusing you. That's exactly what I see here. Sadly, that Osinachi is dead. But I think without blaming the dead, that she took more nonsense that was necessary. For a long time, should have walked away. Even when the mom told her, when she had only 2 kids, the mom said, this is too toxic for you. Leave it. I am willing to have you back. If you don't marry, fine. If you marry, good. But this is too toxic. But at the end of the day, you see where the whole thing ended. Please, 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 if nothing is learned from the hours we spent analyzing this, speaking about this, translating it for those of you who are non-Igbo viewers, for you to understand what is being said, I think that it is time, I do not call for people to divorce, but rather than be in a toxic relationship and lose your life, what's the nonsense paper that you signed? Yank it off the window, for Christ's sake. If it comes to that, but let it be alive. Sorry, let the individual be alive. Yank it off the window. Yes, I said it. But again, I see failures here as well. Because in all this, many of you, especially those of you that go to Dunami or Dynamo, whatever it's called, would probably want to go into the comment section and fight for your gods. Well, I say to you, I can see from Pastor a nature, or whatever his nature is, the wife didn't follow up properly. The wife also failed the family. The pastor himself, or the daddy GO, men of whatever they are, they also failed the lady in question, because this is a pastor in your own church and no proper intervention was done. And we have seen where the whole thing led. And when she began to also speak on certain things, I said, like, now, wow, she wasn't even making enough money. Yet all of us love the money. But when you listen to the sister, the twin sister, talk about how much you get paid. You begin to think. Hold on. Let me
my sister, okay.
Look, she's now saying that there was a day Peter used mop, you used the mopping floor on a is sick, a person you called your wife. I mean, I can't even think it. There are things you can't think it. Talk less of putting action to make it a reality. Use a mop, hit a woman you call your wife. How about? How does that happen?
Up your mop.
How? Mop?
Peter,
How?
Jido Osinachi on here. Osinachi be on a idea.
Yeah, she receives a lot of beating from the husband, but Osinachi hides it from them. That's what she's saying. That's the twin sister.
So Osinachi me pron we gwam mgbe the last nwa ya. Peter chụpụrụ ya n'ezi with nwa okwu n'aka.
You can imagine, the only one she narrated to the sister was after the last child. When the last child, the fourth child, the man, Peter, yanked the woman, the wife, out of the house with a little baby. Who does that? It has to take the intervention of the son, the young son, to give them cloth from the window. And you do that, you want your wife and your young child to go well. Because they were cold.
Osinachi na-emepe ọnụ maka na ọ mana ọgwa m na m ga-agwa my mother and ọma ndị nwe ya. Peter sị na anyị nwere mmadụ ya ga-emechi Osinachi ihe.
Of what benefit is it? Jesus. Of what benefit is it now that you've done these things and the lady is dead? So what has it benefited you? Even the little money when she goes on singing, because I saw a WhatsApp message that someone shared on Twitter where she was trying to record a new song, but telling the person that the husband shouldn't know. Because, if the husband doesn't allow her to do the things that she enjoys doing, sing and does, and she's now wanting to release song without the husband knowing, the one that should be the beacon of your success. Listen, any man, think about it, man. I'm speaking to my fellow men now. If you're watching me and you do not encourage and push your wife, emphasis here, push. Encourage, but push your wife to either be a par or be ahead of you, then man, check yourself very well. You have a problem. Why wouldn't you? You have a master's degree, your wife only has secondary school or a BSc, and you're not pushing that woman to either have master's, even if it's doctorate as well. Why not? Why wouldn't you? It's a pity, really. It's a pity.
Peter na-eme ya na-echi ya ọ na-anagide ya n'ihe eluigwe n'ihe ebe ọ fọrọ na-eje ọ na-anagide ya Osinachi pụta many people are na-agwa ndị ọ na-akparị na phone ọkparịcha ọkọcha ha ọnụ Osinachi je na-ayọ before Osinachi na-eje program ego abụ ego na akaụntụ Peter.
You can imagine, before Osinachi goes to any program, you must first pay into the husband's account. Jeez, that's nothing but slavery.
Oh my God, you wonder Osinachi wesi m na ihe Peter mere ya na nne m na ego akwụrụ ya 40,000 ha nyere ya mana ndị emekwa ọfụma na nye Peter narị ya dị mmadụ kpọọ ya onye oshi.
She went to a program one day and Peter collected the 40,000 and called her your own wife that you sleep in the same bed. You call her a thief. Man, that wasn't any marriage at all. That wasn't any marriage. That was.
Peter, he's doing nothing.
Peter is jobless and is collecting money. He must be the one to authorize where Osinachi would attend the program, and he must be the one to collect the money. These are the sister. Whether you believe it or not, or I believe it because it's coming from the twin sister. The twin sister knows more than the mother himself, because see, there is a way twins connect that even if anything is about to happen to the other twin, they somewhat feel it. Talk less of what they share together. That woman must have gone to the grave with a lot, with so much, bad feelings. with so much bad feeling.
Osinachi or Peter now press you down.
You see, that the woman would have gone far if not for the husband. And I believe that. Imagine if she was single. But again, here I speak to pastors and I speak to general overseers and I speak to men of God, whatever you call your name, prophets. Help your people. This nonsense and notion, oh, this person is a single person, therefore she no longer has the spirit. Imagine if this woman walked away from this toxic relationship. Who says that she can no longer worship God, that she can no longer sing? She will be free to do whatever. She will now even, have made more money from her records that she could actually help others. Look at the family. One of the ones that really, made me sad is when she talked about the brother who lives in Abuja and says he lives in a ghetto. I will see if I can reach them and see, especially the brother that is alive, if there is anything we can do. Let's, but there are things you watch and you just kind of get weak. But maybe in death, if you people should tell me, I might have to get to my colleagues at BBC and see if they can get me the number of the brother. Because when I heard that this afternoon, that the brother is really, really living in a place that not fit for subhumans, not fit for, animal. But in all this, no one gets any form of respect from the man in question. That breaks one's heart. Really.
Before now, 30 ego, Peter ego na account, just na chana ego.
Look, see, how can you go for a program before you come back? The money is already in your husband's account, and you're now begging people for money again. That's the work of a sadist.
My sister now your pam. You no make over me chachaya. Meyama, my brother, the only person, one boy I went to no line.
That's it now. Now, Osinachi, the only son left, because obviously, according to the mom, the first one died. The first son died.
I don't get to Abuja, get to Kobe. From Forani. We can't Abuja. Nime gota, nime ghetto, ghetto gota. What are the areas of the area? What are the Runa? Yeah, Nakuita, my mother Maria, so Maria Chitanari.
At this point, this is so emotional. Now, Jesus Christ. She said that what she's basically saying, at the point she's saying this, the mom is not even aware that the only surviving son he has lives in a ghetto in Abuja. That he can only afford to cook food only with onion, nothing else, because he cannot afford anything else. And you can imagine, I don't need to doubt her, because there are things, when you narrate them, the only thing that can do is for you to break down and begin to cry. And that's exactly what she just did.
What's him swear? I brought out to a booger of snatch you food and you were happy. What's my mission?
Now you can imagine how bad it is also for Osinachi when the brother cooked this tasteless food and was presented to her, that she ate it and pretended that she liked it in order not to hurt the brother, and said your food was tasty. But she here looked at the sister and knew that this cannot be real. This cannot be real. Yet, the one in position to help out. Hey, when I thought that day, Jemu boye Josi decide ya. Nobody, some for my sister.
Muja Fia, one go flight in Napa, book on flight Napa, Totia, poor, did for my sister. The den na boku na Boja. And they return Peter Baramumba, Nambia Nabia, Namagwaria. You see, son, I'm sorry, Namama Nangabia. Na ya biko, Abona Peter gave Kwensioku. Iha, okay, for two cameras, see a bar, Ihobola. Ihobola, Bari Henine. Osina, Nike, Bumuya, Nike, Itiana, and Pete. Nike, Nayaman, have a strong man.
Now, he's accusing them, you people want to kill me, you want to subdue me, but I'll show you I'm a strong man. Oga, if you want to show your strongness, go to Dangote trailer where they load cement. Go and offload one container or one trailer of Dangote cement. That's how we know you are strong. You cannot come and be abusing women and you want to show with women that you are strong, or that you are weak, as in weakling, as in you are banana, you are cucumber self, you are nothing. You are basically, you have no strength. If it's only when it comes to ladies that you will show that you are strong, then I tell you, you are
Yeah,
not strong.
Captain na give it to every bathroom. Nayaman, you have a strong man, I can it's a bumuya. Hi, Mbesipi, no, Nia cannot be Nambara. Nothing but Peter was in Mecca was here. Peter, Oga, Peter was a Musina, was Doctor Taka no get bang. Was some share about woman and my brother, and I poor, near chalk I poor, na Prince Kachukuna Abia. Near Chorok of Fanny, we see an Amabia one for Prince, knock for my sister. No piano campo one or sim no. Now, we have near Chodica of Fanny, my sister, where you will see a Peter. Can you hear as one hapo Prince Abia Beno? Open a Prince Biano hapo one. Obido shout one her. See where you got why you here game. Now go aga why you here game. Niakuchi Kuaria. My sister was okay, near the sorry. If we have on our yoke, see, near the sorry. See, near the sorry.
My takeaway, please. I don't want to break your home. I don't want to, tell you how to live in your house. But if you're a woman listening to me now, please ensure you have your own source of income. Let no man abuse you because you do not have any source of income. Takeaways here. Abusive relationship, men, women, walk away. Find something doing. Have your own source of income. Be on your own, that even if your husband dies today, God forbid, but again, that you will not be too much dependent on them. I mean, of course, I do understand that all fingers are not equal. But again, I believe that if the woman in all these red flags, more than 10 red flags from the story here, if she had walked away, I believe that she would now still be alive with us. On that note, I say thank you very much, and thank you, all of you that have sent me messages on my bereavement. Obviously, last week, Thursday in the afternoon, I lost an elder brother. Hence, I haven't. It was one of those things that really, I never knew that something could really hit me so much that, you feel sick. Because 15th of January 2021, I buried the eldest in my family, the same mother, the same father. Now, 15 months down the line, another person, departs. Sadly, it was an industrial accident, but, things happened that he didn't make it. It hurts. The cut is so deep, I must say. That's why I can feel the pain of this woman. Imagine if my brother had died because of how someone else treated him and he died. Imagine how I would be feeling. The only reason why, you can take consolation is you say, okay, this is an accident. There is no one you blame, understanding the nature and how that accident happened. But here, it's something that was preventable, and it did happen. All I can say to us, Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to be strong to do my Friday hangout this week. Join me 7 o'clock Nigerian time for my hangout. At the same time, please, if you haven't subscribed to this platform, please, I beg you, it only takes a click. Come down from the comment section. If you're watching me on YouTube, just click the like and click the like button. Share this video with others. That's all your contribution. If I'm able to get to the BBC crew and get the number of Osinachi's sister, I might do a GoFundMe. I do not know, but it's all dependent of if I'm able to get the contact and speak to him and he okays it. If he okays it, the story is so touching to me that I might want to help. And I know that in helping you, many of you on this platform, we also who have watched this and also touched by what the narrations you've had this evening would also want to help. Because I believe in lifting one another up, we can have a better society and humanity gets better. On that note, I would say, please, if you are in an abusive relationship, I will say that for the last time, walk away. It's better to walk away with your life intact than to stay because you are told for better, for worse, or because what the church will say. Because I think the reason why she didn't walk away, it was because of the church and the perception. She would think, what would people say? But people are saying something now that you're dead. So it's better they also say something while you're alive. Would have walked away. On that note, once more, people, I say thank you so much, so much. It's almost 2 hours now that I've been sitting down and say thank you, thank you, thank you once more for being part of this program. And I say bye for now. I am still Mazi. It's okay.